Do you really need to exercise to successfully lose weight? Today I'm going over my top 5 tips for how to lose weight without having to exercise. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Walk With Me. This is Josh here, and today we're going over a few tips for how to lose weight without having to exercise. I'm going to start this off with a really important disclaimer to this. These are tips for losing weight without exercise, but I'm a big advocate. If you can, you should absolutely add exercise into your life. I wanted to create these tips just to prevent that barrier to entry, whether it's for financial reasons where you can't afford a gym, or a disability or an injury where you're not able to exercise, or you just find yourself giving up on your weight loss because you hate working out that much. So these tips are for all of you. I don't want to hear any excuses going forward that you can't lose weight if you can't exercise. All of the classic sayings are true. Weight is lost in the kitchen and not the gym. You can't outrun a bad diet. It's all about calories in and calories out. So exercise can help increase that calorie deficit, but it doesn't necessarily have to come from that exercise. It is much easier to increase a calorie deficit from eating less food than adding more exercise anyway. So just use all of that attention and willpower and energy into making your diet that much more on point with what your goals are. If you're not already tracking your calories, I would highly suggest you do so, especially if you're not exercising. And I've talked about in the past, there are a lot of easy tweaks and changes and swaps you can make to lower your calories without even really trying. I'll be sure to link that video. All right, so tip number 2, find some accidental exercise. This is a huge one that, again, can just make things that much more effortless. A lot of times there are activities and hobbies and things you can do that are just purely for fun that are also going to get you up and moving and active. There are a lot of really great ways to add that indirect activity into your life. For instance, with me, I haven't purposefully done any cardio in a couple of years, but because I sold my car back when I moved to Portland, I walk 2 miles a day every day at least, usually a few more. So that burns a lot of calories I otherwise wouldn't have normally burned. So try and evaluate your life, find those ways you can have some indirect exercise, whether it be from a hobby or a fun activity, or things like parking at the back of a parking lot when you go to get your groceries. That indirect activity compounds and adds up without even really purposefully going to do cardio or purposefully exercising. All right, so tip number 3 is shift around your macros. If you do live a more sedentary life, especially when you're at that calorie deficit, it's important to make sure that you're maintaining your muscle mass, and you can do so by increasing your protein levels. Because as your weight lowers with your calorie deficit, your body will start to try and burn your muscle in addition to the fat that it's burning. So making sure to increase that protein will help preserve that muscle that you have. And that's also going to help keep you a little bit more full and satiated longer throughout the day. All right, tip number 4, this is a huge one, get more sleep. And most of us are chronically sleep deprived, and sleep plays such a big role in our overall health, but especially for weight loss. If we're not getting that restoration and energy from our night's sleep, our body is going to try and get it from extra food that day. All of your hormones that help maintain and balance out your hunger levels throughout the day get released during that proper night's sleep. So even if you think you can get away with 5 or 6 hours every night, chances are you can't. You're probably not that 1 to 2% of the population. Make sure you're getting proper sleep. Anywhere from 7 to 9 hours, depending on the person, is going to be important. And those later sleep stages do a lot of the physical and mental restoration that we need for the next day. So make sure you're getting that full night's sleep and not just a portion of it. This last tip is more so for the people that don't really have the option as to whether or not they can exercise. I know it can be a little bit frustrating if you personally enjoy exercising, or a little bit frustrating that you can't lose weight quite as fast as you'd like because you don't have that extra calorie deficit from the exercise. But there should be some comfort for you in knowing that it's just going to be that much easier to adhere and stick to your diet long term because you don't have to worry about the exercise end of things. You know, like I said, it's not an ideal scenario, but if it's the cards that you've been dealt, you got to make the best of it, and just know you're still going to get there just as fine, even if you're not able to exercise. But that's going to be it for me this week, everybody. It is starting to sprinkle outside here in Portland. I want you guys to all share your best tip that's not related to exercise for your weight loss. Let's get this good discussion going so everyone that sees this will have some extra tips beyond the few that I provided. And make sure to like the video if you enjoy this. Walk With Me comes out every Monday at 8 a.m. I put out other videos on Fridays, but until next time, I will talk to you all later. Have a good one.